Steve, we're here checking out something that's a little bit more my wheelhouse here. This is a horror game, Fort Solis. And it's a horror story, dare I say, walking sim. That kind of becomes funny later on, but it's quite a slow-paced kind of story, a narrative that you're meant to kind of search, pick and piece your little story elements together to find out what happens in this grand story. Your poor character was supposed to be on vacation this whole time, but before we get into that, there is a lot of production value that this game really tries to throw at you, including the likes of Troy Baker, Roger Clark, and Julia Brown. These are all industry well-known voice actors, and I have to say they come through in their part. They each do their own proper voice acting, and it feels really good. But that's sort of where the awe factor kind of drops away. The graphics are incredibly good. I'm playing this on PC, however. I don't have the newest, greatest hardware. I had to turn it down to medium. A lot of that will be reflected in the gameplay shown. But beyond that, I've had a lot of stutter issues. Anytime I hit the stairwell to move on to the next floor or go through an airlock, it really stutters, to the point where I was a little worried at one point that I wasn't going to recover. Perhaps this was just the end of it, but I made my way through. I got in there, and beyond that, unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of positive things to say, but you had some hardware issues, and I want to highlight that as well, because you were on the PlayStation, I believe.
That's correct. Yep. I was on the PlayStation 5, and like you said, it looked stunning. I mean, it was done on Unreal Engine 5, so graphically, like you said, looked amazing, the voice acting and everything like that. But for me, even on the PlayStation 5, I did have some lagging issues, like just moving. And like you said, there is no sprinting in this. You're in a spacesuit, so you're going to walk slow. And boy, you do walk very slow, and I can feel it in the controller. It just feels that sluggish. But then when you have the lagging issues as well, and it even got me to a point of, I went into a certain area, I think it was a boot changing room. It's almost like an airlock. The doors wouldn't open for me. So after 30 minutes of trying to get out this little room, I basically had to restart the whole game again and start from the beginning. And as we mentioned, it is a story-driven game, and I believe it's a sequence type of game. So you have to pick certain objects up to tell the story in a certain way before you can progress to the next part or get your next mission or task you have to do. Issues I had, though, is because it is all set up, go from point A to point B, you cannot explore the other areas, because you'll go to an area that's dark and automatically a light will come on automatically to guide you through. But if you venture off to investigate a room and it's a dark area, the light doesn't click on and you cannot click it on. So you do have to basically go through, find little disk drives or little card readers that you plug into your hub really on your wrist, and then you basically get the messages or video calls of what the story is about.
Yeah, it is this incredible kind of murder mystery. You arrive at this location to answer a distress beacon. You're supposed to be on vacation. And to your point, getting locked in a boot area is not how I would spend a vacation. But you do piece together a lot of these little bits here and there, uncovering certain characters' stories. Those stories do all come together towards the end. It starts to piece together a proper picture of what happened, but I found that to be entirely predictable. I wasn't incredibly satisfied with the whodunit mystery, so to speak, but what was satisfying, kind of, is that you'd unlock these cards. You'd find a new security clearance card. Now I can access level 4 or level 3, but I would pass all of these doors before I got the code, or the card rather. I want to go back and explore and find out more to the story, different parts, different pieces here and there, but it was just so slow that I really didn't want to. I couldn't be bothered to go around and explore some more. There are some interesting aspects to the cards, though, because you will remember, oh yeah, that one door in that one stairwell, now I know where to go, and that's kind of a fun memory game, but there wasn't a whole lot of difficulty to it either. This memory game is sort of the only difficulty to it. And that's why I call it a walking sim, is because there just really wasn't a whole lot preventing you from moving forward. Kind of just the only thing that comes to mind is that server room, and that really wasn't much of a puzzle at all. It was just kind of are you paying attention kind of check mark. And then you move on. But this game is, I don't want to be too harsh, but at the same time it was incredibly disappointing, because I really like the premise of the story that's set up. It's very similar to almost Dead Space in story and look, but it's lacking all of the action. There are, again, I'm not going to get into spoilers here, but there is a bit of action towards the end. There is the mystery is solved, I'll say that, but it didn't feel like enough of a reward to me for kind of walking through endless hallways this whole time. I'm disappointed because the story could have been compelling. It has all the right pieces there, but it's missing something. It leaves me with a 6 out of 10. Unfortunately, this just missed the mark.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10 as well. Just to the fact I had to restart the game. Everything we touched on, it was missing the action. I know it's a narrative, and it will suit other people. You know, it will suit their style. For me, I like a bit more action, the slow walking, the quick time. There is only a small fraction of a quick time action, but it was so small, and you're watching a cutscene. I missed a lot of them because it'll be popped up above a head or to the side of quickly move to the left joystick to dodge something. But it was just too small and just too late.
Solis? Jack Leary here. Entering your perimeter. Do you copy?